What's up, world? This is the Vivid Dreamer. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. And let me know what you think so far of our channel. Excuse me. As you can hear, my throat chakra is like really bothering me right now. So clearly there's a message that is to get out but does not want to. But nonetheless, I'm going to persevere because I think that is the message for tonight, being that it is at the bottom of the deck. What is holding you back? That's a really, really good topic. So far for the messages that I've pulled for October, and it has a lot to do with that, being that moving forward seems to be the objective. I know we're going into a new retrograde. We just had a full moon not that long ago. So we want to be sure that whatever direction we're headed or you're headed, it is in the right direction. For those who are new to this channel, like I said, welcome to the Vivid Dreamer. I like to do what's called channel thought messages. And so for the ones that don't want to go back to the first video, this is pretty much a channel where instead of doing like a normal tarot card reading, I actually do a channel thought reading, which pretty much I like to say helps you along the way. It doesn't necessarily tell you what your future is going to look like. I'm more of a person that likes to tell you within the here and moment ideas or mental thoughts that you are combating with, that you're not really able to sort out. You know how like your mind goes 1,000 miles per hour, but you just grab a thought at a time and you deal with it accordingly? Well, that's what channel thought messages and channel thought readings are. It is a card deck that I personally designed myself, with a infusion of tarot cards and major arcanas to be able to help you decipher some of these emotions, or at least I'm able to give you some of the stories that I've been through to be able to help me through these messages. Maybe they're able to help someone else. Regardless, please let me know down below what are your thoughts, and I look forward to hearing and reading all of them. So again, yes, what is holding you back? A lot of what I feel seems to be emotion. And regardless if it's on the side of being towards a person or towards a new chapter, a full moon brings a whole new season. And I feel for whoever this message is for, your season is now. I think I've already did a reading like that or a message like that. So this may be your confirmation. But the question you need to really be honest with yourself about is what is holding you back. It's almost like I feel like being in a physical fight and you want to get to who you want to get to, but you have so many people around. Excuse me. You have so many people around. It's hard for you to even try to get your hands on it. It's hard for you to get your hands on it. And mind you, that's at the bottom of the deck that's having me meditate like this. I didn't pre-shuffle and all that type of jazz. But when I saw this at the bottom of the deck, I feel like I'm going to feel a lot of emotion come out of this reading, but out of this message. But it's cool. So I pulled approximately like 12 cards. Some of them clarify, and some of them are channel cards. So the first card that I got was the Death card in upright, which again, the theme of this message is what is holding you back. And little do you know, the Death card is in upright. So some of you have a new beginning coming. And a lot of times when we see new beginnings and we know that there's new beginnings, we feel as if, since we don't know what's about to happen, we don't know what we about to get into. And that makes us very, very intimidated of the future. But check this out. The card that clarifies the death card is a channel thought card saying, stop allowing your past to get in your way. Now, I understand the past is very easy to go off of in regards to like what we don't want to experience, but with going forth, we have to understand we don't know really what we will experience until we actually take that leap of faith and stop allowing things to hold us back to be able to experience them. A lot of that has something to do with self-confidence. If you know regardless of the fact you can't make it, it's no point in you faking it, right? So your next two cards are channel cards. The first one is, if you can't relate, don't communicate. A lot of what's holding us back is what we assume we think is best for us, and it's not. And we don't realize that until it's too late. And by the time we realize it's too late, it's part of our past. And it keeps us from new beginnings. The next card is what you know. Oh, excuse me. Our next card is you know what you're doing. It's a channel thought card. You know what you're doing. A lot of times when we hold ourselves back, it comes from the mental thought of we're fearing to face fear versus understanding fear helps develop our character. And when we don't feel like we have self-esteem to be able to discover what our full potential is, we decide to limit our character and our ambition and our motivation to move forth. So I feel as honestly, if you're serious as to knowing what it is that's holding you back, your next card is that you have to be proactive. The best way to face off with fear is to let fear know that you're not intimidated about it or of it. A lot of folks, you know, they want financial stability. They want to be able to know that when they punch in or punch out each day, they know that either the employer is getting their money worth, they feel satisfied with their job or what their position and purpose is. But the thing that's keeping them from being able to do what they want to do is the fact of sometimes reactively it's easier for us to punch in than it is for us to punch the lights out on our fear and try to do it ourselves. Now, you can work full-time, still do your thing part-time. That does not mean that what you're doing part-time is obsolete or inferior to what you're having to do to make sure that your bills are paid. So, for instance, if so happens you know you have bills and obligations and you know you want to build your business, starting your business off small does not mean that you're not taking it serious. If so happens you want to start a relationship off small or a friendship off small to get to know somebody, which seems to be the second storyline in my head, it doesn't make you less serious because you're willing to take your time. And what's so crazy is I have the Hermit card in reverse, which is very interesting because when I see the Hermit card in reverse, to be honest with you, I feel a sense of like some type of loneliness, or in regards to your past prohibits you from being able to see a new beginning, which is going back to that double in the upright position. It's hard for you to kind of like see whatever a future may be for you because it's always been hard. it's always been hard. Either you've always had to put things before yourself, or it's been a thing of it being hard for you to actually see a beginning, because either you're used to the same old, or you just don't believe it's gonna happen. So far, like, that's just how I feel. It's like, it's one or the other. It's really one or the other. But there's no way you can sit here and say, like, you haven't experienced it if you haven't opened yourself up to it. The next card that we have is the Judgment in reverse. Now, again, this goes right back to me saying that either you're not open to it, or you don't want to care for it, but you're unaware about something that is moving forth for you. And the only way for you to be able to understand that is for you to go back to the surface. It really is. Sometimes people make it very hard for you to want to stick to your morals and your standards. People will take you out of your character each day of the week. But at the end of the day, in order for you to get to your own finish line, what is holding you back from that? And between your past and you knowing what you have going on, you know the right choices that need to be made. You just don't want to make them. That's what it really looks like. You don't want to make them. And you don't want to make them because you know what you're doing. You know you got to move forth. But you're finding it hard to, because right now, you just may be in that season of stagnation. That's how I feel. The only way to come out of it, I honestly see here, is for you to proactively understand what it is that you're doing. Whatever you're doing wrong, whatever you're doing right, you need to highlight it, appreciate it, learn from it, and make it a goal to not be there. The next card is, look, the Empress in reverse. You need to understand, like, what you put in is what you get out. Like, for real. You cannot get a bushel of flowers out of concrete. You cannot grow and prosper from concrete. There's no possible way. Now, unless you know something I don't know, you tell me. But as far as I'm concerned, if you let your past hold you back, I can't sit here and say you don't deserve where you are. Because the very thing that's holding you back is the very thing you need to grow from. Ha! Ain't that crazy? What's holding you back? Stop allowing your past to get in the way. I can't make this shit up. Look. The Sun in reverse, yo. The Sun in reverse. What's holding you back? The negativity. The negativity. The depression of it all. Like, you can't continue forward without understanding that you deserve it. And until you feel like you deserve it, you're going to have that stagnant feel. Ain't that crazy? Didn't I just say I had a stagnation in my reading? Didn't I just say that? Look at that. Are you staying from the phone? Huh. You have an understanding of what's going on. Ha! Ain't that funny? You have an understanding of what's going on. And you know what's holding you back. So, instead of you bullshitting a bullshitter, won't you be proactive? Do what you need to do. Do what you need to do, yo. Because otherwise, you're going to feel just like this Hermit in reverse. And there's no point in you doing that if you already know what it is that you got to do. You already know, so why make yourself feel less than? Judgment in reverse. If it don't work for you, don't make it. Now, ha! Ain't that funny? Some of y'all feel like the reason why y'all deal with what y'all deal with is because of this right here. I can't make this up, yo. And that's what happens when you're stagnant. You're bored. You know why? Because it's easier to deal with the bullshit than it is for you to move forth. Your hindrance is when you don't move forth. You're bored. And when you're bored, you're willing to communicate with anyone. With anyone. For a connection. But, come on, God. If they can't communicate and relate to what you're trying to get done, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. I can't make this up. I like this little card reading stuff that I've started. Look. Pay attention to the sign, bitch. What did I just say? What's holding you back? What did I just say? I can't make none of this up. You can feel like I am, but I'm not. I'm not making this up. I pre-shuffle, meditate, all that. You staying away from the phone because you know what's holding you back. And you need to pay attention to the signs. A wise person once told me, what you don't pay attention to in the beginning is going to cost you more at the end. Love is in reverse. I don't know about you, but if you work hard every day of your life, up until the time that you see this reading, until you see this message, have an understanding of this. In order for us to sometimes get ahead, we very well have to forgive ourselves, because it's not in our purpose to take everybody with us. And just because you can't take everybody with you does not make you a bad person. Doesn't make you feel as if like you gotta drag them along like a sing-along. And it damn sure doesn't mean that you gotta make and mold them into whoever it is they want to be. That's up to them. But when it comes down to you and what you're looking for and what you want out of life, we all have a eulogy. We all have an obituary that we have to make sure that we fit the bill for. And can't anyone fit your bill but you. So when the Lovers in Reverse comes up, in reverse, balance yourself before you become unbalanced. Because there's nothing worse than something getting in your way that you can't relate to. But yet, you don't want it to hold you back. You know what you're doing. So now that you know what you're doing, you're bored as all get out. Because you either don't know how to get rid of this person, you don't know how to move on from this person. It's just like, you can't take everybody with you. You can't. And so you need to pay attention to the signs for you to be able to be proactive. Because otherwise, in order for you to be able to see and know, observe, understand, gain knowledge of, appreciate, use as a way for you to know when you're unaware and how you need to be aware, you got to keep your eyes open. You can't allow the fuck shit to get to you. You can't allow your hand to be on that stove if you already know that it's hot. And I feel like honestly when it comes down to this Hermit in Reverse, I don't know why I feel like this, but in order for some of y'all to see some new beginnings, you may have to let that loneliness go. When I say loneliness, I mean that in feeling of depression, because that's how I feel when I touch this card. Is that depression is one of the reasons why you feel like the Empress in upright. Between that and what's holding you back. between that and what's holding you back, it's making you feel all sorts of ways. Understand, fear is only in your head. Fear is only in your head. Excuse me. Fear is only in your head. So you can master it at any given time. You have to choose when the eviction notice is to be served. Temperance in reverse. See? With you not understanding when it is, where it is that you become unbalanced, that becomes your trouble. So again, that proactive card that came out as far as a channel thought, you need to peep that shit. And you need to do something about it. It's the perfect time. It's the weekend. Like, why not? Why not? The perfect weekend for you to meditate, get that shit off your chest, and then some. Shit. Like my grandma used to tell me, you feel like your titties got bigger, it's time for a bigger bra. You feel like, you thinking wider and more than what it used to be, and your friends can't seem to follow foot, and it just may be time for you to get a bigger circle of friends. It doesn't mean that the ones that you have are ones that aren't useful. It's just, we outgrow them. We outgrow everything. We outgrow drawers, bras, mattresses, ages, all types of stuff. So it's nothing wrong with it. It's just how you go about it. Not everybody's really cool with it, because no one wants to be left, but they only feel left if they feel as if like that fear of growing is holding them back. Come on, God. Come on. All right, universe. I'm not going to take all these that just fell out, but I'm going to take these two, and then I'm going to be gone. 2 channel cards. What do you have time for? Truly. Didn't I just say be proactive? What's holding you back? Didn't I just say that? And pay attention to the signs. And you know what you're doing? I know I did. I ain't tripping. I know I did. I ain't tripping. Second card. If things could be different, what would you choose? What would you choose differently? Can't make this up. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? Money, people, time. We all in a pandemic. We all in a pandemic. Trust me. But it's what you do gets you out of it. I lied, y'all. I'm going to pull one more card. I'm going to try to end on a good note, prayerfully. So, universe, if you could give me one more card to end tonight on. What's holding you back? What's holding you back? What's holding you back? What's holding you back? I appreciate everyone stopping by my channel. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment. Let me know down below what you think so far. I actually like the channel messages. I feel like they're a little bit more super strong energy-wise than what I thought in regards to like compared to like tarot. And I'm so happy I decided to channel some of my own and infuse the tarot, because I think the tarot will probably end up being too strong in a different dynamic. But it gives me kind of like a spiritual perspective or a spiritual brim to see what's going on. Be sure that you'll go over to my primary channel, which is Esteem Queen and Mentality. It will be down below. Spirit, can you please give us a closing card Universe, give us a closing card, and we will be out of here. I'm going to do 3 more shuffles. Ooh, before I even got it out. Hierophant, upright. All right. How do I feel about this card? I don't feel like you need an authority figure or a counselor. I feel like this card, with being proactive and paying attention to the signs, is more or less related to you being parallel with the universe. Having a guidance that is bigger and more powerful than a mentor on earth. We all need that. I don't think life will be as blissful if we don't stay connected to the earth. So give that something to think about. Oh. 2 more shuffles. I said we was gonna be up out of here, but backside. Bummer clock. Okay. Okay. All right, Spirit. All right, Universe. What gone? Oop. Can't take it. It went on the floor. One more shuffle. What is this? The Tower in reverse. All right. So, I feel like in more or less this Hierophant and this Tower together and this channel card in regards to what do you have time for are related. To pay attention to the signs and you know what you're doing. Oops. Yeah. And you know what you're doing. So be very careful of your footing. Not because you're making the wrong decisions, but now I'm seeing that the decisions that you're willing to make for yourself, it may very well bother the people that you either have to move with or against. That's not your fault. Every gift and blessing has a come up. That may not be you, but yeah. So just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. Understand what's holding you back can very well be the very thing that can catapult you towards where you want to be. In order for you to understand that you want to be there, you have to be willing to focus on yourself. Channel yourself. Channel your emotions. Channel your thoughts. Channel the purpose of the people who are around you. Think about if you communicate with them on a daily. If you don't, that's okay. But just think about how often you communicate with them and how often you need someone to communicate with. And put those people in a priority list where you're able to know, you know, from greater than less than, who's first and who's not. If they're not high priority for you to converse with them and communicate with them, pay attention to the signs as to why they are around, because new blessings are around the corner. And in order for you to be able to reach them, to obtain them, you have to understand that time heals everything, not to put yourself in the same position twice. And the biggest person conquers all. So know what you're doing, pay attention, And if you have to think about if you had a chance to choose to do something different with your time, or if you were to use your time wisely doing something else, what would it be? If you have an answer for that question, you might want to double check who you spending your time with and on what. So, be sure that y'all like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below. I will talk to y'all within the next channel thoughts reading. I may do one for Sunday, maybe a really quick spread. We'll see. Other than that, I will talk to y'all the next time. Bye.